Our objectives in this lesson are the following. Number 1, define arithmetic sequence and series and their key components. Number 2, find the end term of an arithmetic sequence. Number 3, use the appropriate formula between these two in calculating the sum of an arithmetic series. Number 4, solve real-world problems involving arithmetic sequence and series. And number 5, demonstrate appreciation of the importance of arithmetic sequences and series. But before this, here is the answer in the extra problem I gave in our previous lesson. Kindly comment down if you got it correct. Before we officially begin our lesson, let's first solve this number mystery. Observe the pattern carefully. 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, and so on. What do you notice? Very good. The numbers increase by 3 each time. Now here's the challenge. Without listing all the terms one by one, can you predict the 20th term? Pause this video for a moment and try to think it over. Did you get an answer? Instead of repeatedly adding 3, mathematicians use a formula to directly find any term in the sequence. And today, we are going to discover that formula together. Since you have already noticed that the sequence increases by 3, what operation is repeatedly used? If going forward, it is addition. If backwards, it's subtraction. And what's the difference between the terms? From 5 to 8, what's the difference? From 8 to 11, from 11 to 14, from 14 to 17. What's the common difference? The answer is 3. Allow me to convert this into table format. So these are the term number and the corresponding sequence term. So the first term is 5, the second term is 8, the third term is 11, the fourth term is 14, and the fifth term is 17. How can we express each term using the first term only and the common difference 3? Let me start. I could write 8 as 5 plus 3. This is the first term, 5, and then the common difference is 3. How about 11? We could write this as 11 equals 5 plus 2 times 3. Since 2 times 3 is 6 and 6 plus 5 is 11. How about 14? 14 is equal to 5 plus 3 times 3. Since 3 times 3 is 9 plus 5, that is 14. I suppose you could guess already for 17. 17 is equal to 5 plus 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 5 is 17. Now, what do you notice in the multiplier of 3? Where is it? This one, the multiplier of 3, the number that we multiply by 3. What do you notice? First, let me rewrite this using 8 equals 5 plus 1 times 3. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 5 is still 8. And then for the first term, I could write this as 5 is equal to 5 plus 0 times 3. 0 times 3 is 0 plus 5 is still 5. Now, here is the multiplier of 3. What do you notice? The number is increasing. Okay, that's a good observation. Now, compare the multiplier of 3 to the term number. For term number 1, the multiplier is 0. For term number 2, the multiplier is 1. For term number 3, the multiplier is 2. For term number 4, the multiplier is 3. And for term number 5, the multiplier is 4. What do you notice? The multiplier is always 1 less than the term number. So if the term number is 5, 5 minus 1, the multiplier is 4. If the term number is 4, 4 minus 1, the term number is 3. Now, do you think you can come up with a formula for the 20th term? Let's try it together. For the 20th term, that would be equal to the first term, which is 5, plus, remember that the multiplier is always 1 less than the term number. So this would be plus times the quantity 20 minus 1 since we're looking for the 20th term. Multiply with, this one is the common difference, which is 3. 20 minus 1 is 19. 19 times 3 is 57. 57 plus 5 is 62. So the 20th term is 62. Are you convinced? Let me enumerate the terms from 1 to 20 using this sequence. So this is term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, all the way to term 20. And yes, the 20th term is 62. Great! Now let us discuss further about that formula we discovered. And that is a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus the quantity n minus 1 times d. This is the formula for finding the nth term of arithmetic sequence. But what is arithmetic sequence? We'll define it later. First, let us identify the variables used in our formula. So a sub n here is the nth term. This is the term located at position n in the sequence. A sub 1 is the first term. This is the starting value of the sequence. While d here is the common difference. This is the fixed amount added to one term to obtain the next term. And n here is the position of the term. So now let's define what arithmetic sequence is. It is a number pattern where consecutive terms differ by the same value called the common difference. Let us recall our previous example, and the difference from each term to the next is 3. So this is an arithmetic sequence because the consecutive numbers differ by the same value. And once again, we call it common difference. I hope you still remember the definition of sequence and series from our previous lesson. So now let us discuss arithmetic series. Arithmetic series is the sum of the terms of an arithmetic sequence. In general, it is expressed as S sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus a sub 2 plus a sub 3 up to a sub n, where S sub n here is the sum of the first n terms. Now, there are two formulas for arithmetic series. Here is the first one, and here is the second one. Both of which, S sub n is equal to the sum of the first n terms. A sub 1 is the first term. A sub n is the nth term, while d here is the common difference. Now you might ask, why do we have two formulas? When do we use the first and the second? We use the first one if the last term is given. So typically, when you encounter words such as the last term is, up to, ends at, total of n terms, including the last value, when you encounter those words, you use this formula. This formula, on the other hand, is used when the last term is not given. You will just encounter words such as common difference is, each term increases or decreases by, the first n terms, but there's no mention of the last term. Here is the simple rule to remember. If you see a sub n, then you're going to use this formula. But if you have d instead of a sub n, then you are going to use this formula. Okay, let us answer some problems. Let us start with finding the nth term. Determine the 12th term of the sequence 7, 11, 15, 19. First, let us determine if this is an arithmetic sequence. Remember, there should be a common difference. From 7 to 11, that would be 4. From 11 to 15, that would be 4. From 15 to 19, that would be 4. So the common difference is 4. Okay, let's identify important details. Our first term, a sub 1, is 7. The common difference is 4. D is equal to 4. And we are looking for the 12th term, so n is equal to 12. Now, let's recall our formula. Our a sub n is what we are looking for. Our a sub 1 is 7. Our n is 12. And our d is 4. Let us substitute those values. 12 minus 1 is 11. 11 times 4 is 44. 44 plus 7 is 51. So it means the 12th term, a sub 12, is equal to 51. Let's have another one. Determine the 20th term of the sequence 8, 13, 18, 23. Again, let's determine first if this is an arithmetic sequence. You might be wondering why. Because there are other sequences which we will discuss in our succeeding lesson. To make sure that this is an arithmetic sequence, there should be common difference. From 8 to 13 is a difference of 5. From 13 to 18 is also 5. And 18 to 23 is also 5. So yes, this is an arithmetic sequence. The first term is 8. That would be our a sub 1. Our common difference is 5. And we are looking for the 20th term, so n is equal to 20. Again, let's recall our formula. A sub n is the term we are looking for. A sub 1 is 8, n is 20, and d is 5. Let us substitute those values. 20 minus 1 is 19. 19 times 5 is 95. 95 plus 8 is 103. So the 20th term, a sub 20, is equal to 103. Let's have some more. This time, finding the number of terms. How many terms are there in the sequence 7, 10, 13, up to 64? Is this an arithmetic sequence? The difference here is 3. The difference here is also 3. So this is an arithmetic sequence. Our first term, a sub 1, is 7. Our common difference is 3. And our last term is 64. Now, we are asked to determine how many terms are there from 7 to 64. Let's recall our formula. A sub n here is now given, which is 64. A sub 1 is 7. Our n is what we are looking for. And d is equal to 3. Let us substitute those values. We are going to distribute 3 here. This will be 3 times n, 3n. Then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. 7 minus 3 is equal to positive 4. Let us combine like terms, constants with constant. Let us move this on the other side or apply subtraction property of equality. 64 minus 4 is 60, so 60 is equal to 3n. To solve for n, we're going to eliminate this 3 here, and we can do that by dividing both sides by 3. So this 3 will cancel out, leaving you n. And 60 divided by 3 is equal to 20. So meaning there are 20 terms in this sequence, starting from 7 and ending at 64. Let's have another example. How many terms are there in the sequence 6, 10, 14, up to 82? The difference of 6 and 10 is 4. The difference of 10 and 14 is also 4. So this is an arithmetic sequence. Now, our first term is 6. Our common difference is 4. And our last term is 82. Again, our formula, a sub n is 82. A sub 1 is 6. N is what we are looking for, and D is equal to 4. Let us substitute those values. Just like what we did in the first example, we have to distribute 4. So 4 times n is 4n. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. Combined like terms, moving this on this side will become negative. 82 minus 2 is 80. To solve for n, we're going to divide both sides by 4. This will be cancelled out, leaving you n, and 80 divided by 4 is also 20. So there are also 20 terms in this sequence, starting from 6 and ending at 82. This time, we're going to find a missing term. Find the missing term in the sequence 21, blank 31, 36, 41. We're going to solve for the missing term. Let's look for the common difference. 41 minus 36 is equal to 5. 36 minus 31 is also equal to 5. So this means our D is equal to 5. Now, to solve for the missing term, we just have to subtract 5 from 31. 31 minus 5 is 26. So, the missing term is 26. 21, 26, 31, 36, 41. Let's have another one. Find the missing term in the sequence 18, 24, blank, 36, 42. Let's solve for the common difference. 42 minus 36 is 6. 24 minus 18 is also 6. So our D is 6. To solve for the missing term here, we just have to subtract 6 from 36. 36 minus 6 is 30. So the missing term is 30. This time, let us find the position of a term. In the sequence 4, 10, 16, 22, and so on, find the value of n, that's the position, if a sub n is equal to 88. From 4 to 10, that is 6. From 10 to 16 is also 6. From 16 to 22 is also 6. So this is an arithmetic sequence. Our first term is 4. That would be our a sub 1. Our difference, D, is equal to 6. And our A sub n is given, and that is 88. We are looking for the value of n. Let's recall again our formula. A sub n equals A sub 1 plus the quantity n minus 1 times D. We already have the A sub n, that's 88. A sub 1 is 4. We're looking for n, and D is equal to 6. Substituting those values, distributing 6 here, this will be 6n. This will be negative 6. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. So we have 88 is equal to 6n minus 2. Let us combine the constants. Let's move this on this side. 88, this will become plus. It will be 90. So 90 is equal to 6n. To solve for n here, we're going to eliminate this 6. So we're going to divide both sides by 6. This will cancel out, leaving you n, and 90 divided by 6 is equal to 15. So it means 88 is the 15th term of the sequence. Let's have another one. What term number is 95 in the sequence 11, 17, 23, 29? From 11 to 17, that would be 6. From 17 to 23 is also 6. From 23 to 29 is also 6. So this is an arithmetic sequence. Our first term, a sub 1, is equal to 11. Our common difference, d, is equal to 6. And our a sub n is 95. Again, let's recall our formula. A sub n is 95. A sub 1 is 11. We're looking for n. D is equal to 6. Let us substitute those values. Distributing 6, 6 times n is 6n. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. 11 minus 6 is equal to 5. Combining the constants, let's move 5 here. 95 minus 5 is equal to 90. So 90 equals 6n. Again, to solve for n, we're going to divide both sides by 6. So this 6 here will cancel out, leaving you n. And 90 divided by 6 is 15. Oh, same answer. So it means 95 is the 15th term of the sequence. Another type of problem, finding the first term. The ninth term of the sequence is 43. And the common difference is 4. Determine the first term. Okay? So this is quite different. Let's identify what we have here. The ninth term of the sequence is 43. So a sub 9 is 43. The common difference is 4. So D is equal to 4. And we are looking for the first term. Since this is a sub 9, it means our n is equal to 9. Let's recall our formula. Our a sub n would be 43. We are looking for the first term, the a sub 1. Our n is equal to 9 and our d is 4. Let us substitute those values. 9 minus 1 is equal to 8 times 4. That would be 32. To solve for a sub 1, we're going to move 32 on the other side. So a sub 1 is equal to 43 minus 32. And 43 minus 32 is equal to 11. It means the first term of the sequence is 11. Let's have another one. The 11th term of the sequence is 52 and the common difference is 5. Determine the first term. The 11th term is 52, so it means a sub 11 is 52. The common difference is 5, so d is equal to 5. Since this is 11, it means our n is equal to 11. Let's recall our formula. Our a sub n is 52. We are looking for a sub 1. Our n is 11, and our d is equal to 5. Let us substitute those. 11 minus 1 is 10, and 10 times 5 is 50. To solve for a sub 1, we are going to move 50 on the other side, so it will become a sub 1 is equal to 52 minus 50. And 52 minus 50 is equal to 2. So the first term of the sequence is 2. Let's have some more examples. This time, let's find the common difference, the first term and the nth term. The fourth term is 19, and the 10th term is 49. Find the common difference, the first term and the 25th term. We only have two given here. The fourth term is 19, so a sub 4 is 19. And the 10th term is 49, so a sub 10 is 49. Let us recall our formula. Let us start with the fourth term. Our a sub n will be 19 and our n will be 4. D is still missing. 4 minus 1 is 3. So we have 19 is equal to a sub 1 plus 3d. Let us label this as equation 1. Now let us do the same thing for the 10th term. This time our a sub n would be 49, our n would be 10, and d is still missing. 10 minus 1 is 9. So we have 49 is equal to a sub 1 plus 9d. Let us label this as equation 2. Both equations 1 and 2 contains a sub 1. So from equation 1, I could solve for a sub 1 and that would be equal to 19 minus 3d. From equation 2, I can solve a sub 1 and that would be equal to 49 minus 9d. Since both of them is equal to a sub 1, then I will equate them. So we have 19 minus 3d is equal to 49 minus 9d. Let us combine like terms. Let us move negative 9d on this side and 19 on this side. So this will become positive 9d minus 3d. Then this will become negative 49 minus 19. 9d minus 3d is equal to 6d and 49 minus 19 is equal to 30. To solve for d here, we're going to divide both sides by 6. This will be cancelled out, leaving you d, and 30 divided by 6 is equal to 5. Now we have the common difference. Let this be our equation 3. Then I am going to substitute equation 3 to equation 1 or equation 2. It's up to you. So substituting equation 3 to equation 1. So this will become a sub 1 is equal to 19 minus 3 times 5. And 3 times 5 is 15. 19 minus 15 is equal to 4. I now have the first term. A sub 1 is equal to 4. I want you to solve for a sub 1 but substituting 3 to equation 2 and see if you're going to arrive with the same answer. Let us verify our answer. I'm going to enumerate the sequence starting from the first term up to the 10th term. If the 10th term is indeed 49, then our answers are correct. So we have 4, 9, 14, 19, 24, 29, 34, 39, 44, 49. The difference from one term to another is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Indeed, the 10th term is 49. So our answers are correct. We are not yet done. We're still looking for the 25th term. So a sub 25 would be equal to a sub 1, and we already know that. That is 4. Our n would be 25 minus 1, and d is equal to 5. 25 minus 1 is 24. 24 times 5 is 120. 120 plus 4 is 124. So the 25th term is 124. The common difference is 5, the first term is 4, and the 25th term is 124. Let's have some more examples, this time finding sum when the last term is given. Since we're looking for sum, then the given is an arithmetic series. Find the sum of the arithmetic series with 12 terms. 6 plus 11 plus 16 plus up to plus 61. So our first term, a sub 1, is equal to 6. Our a sub n, the last term, is equal to 61. Since we are looking for the sum of the arithmetic series with 12 terms, it means our n is equal to 12. Since we are given the last term, a sub n, then we're going to use the first formula for arithmetic series. Our s sub n would be s sub 12. Our n is 12, our a sub 1 is 6, and our a sub n is 61. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 6 plus 61 is 67. 6 times 67 is 402. So the sum of the arithmetic series 6 plus 11 plus 16 up to 61 that contains 12 terms is 402. Let's have another one. Find the sum of 5 plus 9 plus 13 up to 41. This is a little bit different because we do not have the value of n. Unlike this one, we are given 12 terms. So n is 12. In here, we do not have n. Okay, so let's proceed. Our first term, a sub 1, is equal to 5. And our a sub n is equal to 41. But then again, we do not have n. We still have to look for n. Since we are given the common difference, which is 4, we can solve that using the formula for finding the nth term. Our a sub n will be 41. Our a sub 1 is 5. Our n is what we are looking for, and d is equal to 4. Let's distribute 4. 4 times n is 4n. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. Let us combine like terms. So this will be moved here. 41 minus 1 is 40. So 40 is equal to 4n. To solve for n here, we're going to divide both sides by 4. These 4 will be canceled out, leaving you n. 40 divided by 4 is equal to 10. Now we have the value of n. We have the value of the first term. We have the value of the last term. We can now use the first formula for our arithmetic series. So s sub n, that would be s sub 10. Our n again is 10. Our a sub 1 is 5 and a sub n is 41. 10 divided by 2 is 5 and 5 plus 41 is 46. 5 times 46 is 230. So the sum of the arithmetic series with 10 terms is starting from 5 up to 41 is 230. Let's have some more, this time finding sum when the last term is not given. Find the sum of the first 12 terms, 7 plus 10 plus 13 plus 16 and so on. We do not have the last term. We are given the first term, a sub 1. And then we know that the common difference is equal to 3. First 12 terms, meaning to say our n is equal to 12. Since we do not have the last term, we're going to use the second formula for our arithmetic series. Our s sub n would be s sub 12. Our n is 12. Our a sub 1 is 7. N again is 12. And d is equal to 3. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14. 12 minus 1 is 11. 11 times 3 is 33. 33 plus 14 is 47. And 47 times 6 is 282. So the sum of the first 12 terms of this series is 282. Let's have one more. Find the sum of the first 18 terms. 8 plus 13 plus 18 plus 23 and so on. Our first term, a sub 1, is equal to 8. The common difference is 5. And our n is 18. So we're going to use the same formula. S sub n would be S sub 18. N is 18. A sub 1 is 8. N is 18. And D is 5. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 2 times 8 is 16. 18 minus 1 is 17. 17 times 5 is 85. 85 plus 16 is 101. And 101 times 9 is 909. So the sum of the first 18 terms of this series is 909. Try this. A content creator gains 1,500 followers during the first week. Every week, the number of new followers increases by 250. Letter A. How many new followers will be gained during the 20th week? And letter B. How many total followers will be gained in 20 weeks? Let's identify first the given. Our A sub 1, the content creator gains 1,500 during the first week. So our A sub 1 is 1,500. Every week, the number of new followers increases by 250. So the common difference, D, is equal to 250. We are asked to determine how many followers will be gained during the 20th week. So our N is equal to 20. So we're going to use the formula for finding the nth term. Our A sub n would be A sub 20. A sub 1 is 1,500. Our n is 20. And our D is 250. 20 minus 1 is 19. 19 times 250, 4,750. Plus 1,500, 6,250. So on the 20th week, the content creator will have 6,250 followers. Wow! Sana all. Next, letter B. How many total followers will be gained in 20 weeks? So we're looking for sum here. Since we already know the first term and the last term, then we are going to use the first formula for arithmetic series. S sub n would be S sub 20. Our n is 20. A sub 1 is 1,500. A sub n is 6,250. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 1,500 plus 6,250 is 7,750. Multiply it by 10, 77,500. So the creator gains a total of 77,500 followers in 20 weeks. Sana all talaga. Let us do extra challenge. Marco starts a small online business. On the first month, he earns 8,000 pesos profit. His monthly profit increases by 1,500 because of the growing customers. Letter A, what will be his profit during the 18th month? Letter B, how much total profit will he earn in 18 months? And letter C, if Marco plans to buy a laptop worth 120,000 using his total earnings, will his 18-month profit be enough? Explain. Let us identify first the given here. On the first month, he earns 8,000 pesos profit. This will be our A sub 1. His monthly profit increases by 1,500. Increases monthly profit. This will be our common difference, 1,500. And letter A, what will be his profit during the 18th month? So our N is equal to 18. So we're going to use the formula for finding the nth term. Our A sub n would be A sub 18. Our A sub 1 is 8,000, n is 18, and D is 1,500. 18 minus 1 is 17. 17 times 1,500 is 25,500. Plus 8,000 is 33,500. So Marcos' 18th month profit is 33,500 pesos. Let's continue with letter B. Let us recall our answer in letter A. On the 18th month, his profit is 33,500. Letter B, how much total profit will he earn in 18 months? So we're looking for sum here. Since we have the first term and the last term, we're going to use the first formula for arithmetic series. Our S sub n would be S sub 18. Our n is 18. Our a sub 1 is 8,000. Our a sub n is 33,500. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 8,000 plus 33,500 is 41,500. 9 times 41,500 is 373,500. So Marcos' total profit for 18 months is 373,500 pesos. Let's continue. Letter C. Let's recall our answer in letter B. Letter C, if Marco plans to buy a laptop worth 120,000 pesos using his total earnings, will his 18-month profit be enough? Yes, because 373,500 is greater than 120,000. So Marco can afford the laptop and still have remaining savings. So this shows how arithmetic series can help people make informed business and financial decisions. For the summary, here are the things that we discussed in this lesson. Take time to understand this. Now, it is time to check your understanding. Pause this video for more time. Let us answer. A small bakery sells 100 loaves on the first day. Sales increase by 25 loaves daily. Letter A, how many loaves will be sold on the 14th day? Letter B, how many loaves will be sold in total after 14 days? Letter C, explain how arithmetic series helps business planning. Let's identify the given first. On the first day, 100, this will be our A sub 1. And the sales increase by 25 daily. This is our common difference D. Letter A, how many loaves will be sold on the 14th day? So our N is equal to 14. We are going to use the formula for finding the nth term. So A sub 14 will be equal to 100. Our A sub 1, our N is 14, and our D is 25. 14 minus 1 is 13. 13 times 25 is 325. Plus 100 is 425. So meaning, on the 14th day, the small bakery sold 425 loaves of bread. Letter B, how many loaves will be sold in total after 14 days? So we are looking for sum here. Since we have the first term and the last term, we're going to use the first formula for arithmetic series. Our S sub n would be S sub 14. Our n is 14. Our a sub 1 is 100. Our a sub n is 425. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 100 plus 425 is 525. Times 7 is 3,675. So a total of 3,675 loaves of bread will be sold after 14 days. Letter C, explain how arithmetic series helps business planning. Since we were able to forecast the total sales after 14 days, so arithmetic series helps businesses estimate future production and manage supplies effectively. Gets? If you find this lesson helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. Share this video to reach more learners and subscribe to support the channel. To help you truly master this topic, here is an extra problem for you to work on. Watch out for my next video lesson where I reveal the answer. Keep practicing, keep learning, and as always, you've got this with Mom CQ. Our next lesson is geometric sequence and series.